Welcome to the Talon podcast. Today we'll be talking about tennis, of course, and a variety of other topics. So to begin, I guess we'll start with tennis at Nihar.
All right. Yes, as your tennis correspondent, we have a lot to go over since our last tennis update in the last podcast. In the beginning of March, we've had 5 tournaments so far and one going on right now. So in Amsterdam, we had Andrei Rublev win his 4th ATP 500 title in a row. So that's a 20-match win streak at the ATP 500 level. So he's looking really strong. And then in Argentina, we had the Diego Schwartzman win, who actually looks just like Daniel Fishman. I can pull up a picture later to show you. He is actually Argentinian, so he won his home open there. In Qatar, we had Roger Federer come back to action, who he won his first match against Dan Evans and then lost his second match to the eventual champion, Nicolas Basilashvili of Georgia. In Marseille, we had Daniil Medvedev win the ATP 250 title there. And today, officially, March 15th, he is ascended to number 2 in the rankings. And he is the first player outside the Big Four in 15 years to be ranked within the top 2. So Daniil Medvedev, the Russian, takes number 2 position in ATP rankings. And yesterday in Chile, Christian Garin, the Chilean tennis player, ranked number 22 in the world, won the ATP 250 tournament over there against Bagnis. And right now going on is the Dubai ATP 500 tournament, which Roger Federer dropped out of, citing that he needed some more time to practice and recover, especially after his last tournament. So we're looking to give you some more coverage into Dubai, maybe in the next podcast, which round 1 is starting today. And then towards the end of the month is the Miami Masters 1000 event, which will happen in Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. That's where Novak Djokovic should make his return to the tour. That's all for me.
So, NFL free agency is starting in 2-3 days, right? Yeah, so far we've heard a bunch of news. So let me first go through it and have a couple of questions for you all, okay? First, 4 days ago, the Saints released Janoris Jenkins. Then the Chiefs released both their offensive tackles, who both were instrumental parts in their loss in the Super Bowl. Without them, the Bucs pass rush just got to Mahomes every time. Then Ravens are trading Orlando Brown, the rookie from last year. Lions released Justin Coleman. The Falcons re-signed Young Hoku. The Texans signed Mark Ingram. The Bills are re-signed Matt Milano. The Bears re-signed Carlos Santos. Cam Newton, of course, re-signed to the New England Patriots. The Saints freed up $9 million in cap space by readjusting Michael Thomas's contract. Malcolm Brown got released from the Saints. Brady came with agreed to a 4-year extension with the Bucs. Christian Kirksey was signed by the Texans. The Texans re-signed Vernon Hargraves. Offensive tackle Darrell Williams re-signed with the Bills. The Chiefs saved $17 million in cap space with Mahomes' contract. Trey Turner got released by the Chargers. Emmanuel Mosley got a 2-year deal with the Niners. Trent Williams still hasn't been re-signed. Casey Hayward was released by the Chargers. Allen Robinson has been franchise tagged. Let's see. The Texans traded McKinney to the Dolphins for Shaq Lawson. The Patriots traded Marcus Cannon to the Texans for an exchange of 4th, 5th, and 6th, which, in my opinion, is a horrible move. They should have gotten more. Zach Ertz is growing, and this is to Elliot, Zach Ertz is growing impatient with the Eagles. Juju has told teammates he is most likely not going to re-sign with Pittsburgh. Kyle Juszczyk re-signed with the Niners. The Packers re-signed Aaron Jones. Joe Feliciano re-signed with the Bills. Drew Brees, of course, major news, retired yesterday. Taysom Hill's contract was expended over 4 years with all of them being voidable options. And Jameis Winston is still not re-signed by the Saints, yet the Saints are looking to have him as their starter next year. So first, let's talk about the elephant in the room with Juju. Where is he going to go? What is he going to do?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't see the Steelers re-signing Juju. It's very sad, but you know.
I mean, he came out and told his teammates that he's probably not going to go back to the Steelers anyway.
Yeah, the Steelers also don't re-sign wide receivers, so.
Yeah, they have a lot of young guys. They got Deontay Johnson and Claypool. I think the 3 most realistic options for Juju is probably the Raiders. He would help out their pass attack. Where they already have Darren Waller. Probably the Chargers. They already got Herbo. They got Keenan Allen and Eckler.
According to Bleacher Report, the 5 most likely destinations in order are number 1, the Jets. Number 2, the Patriots. 3 is the Washington.
Okay, I went
4
over
is the
2.
Dolphins, and then 5 is the Steelers.
So I went over 2 with my.
With Fishman.
All right.
So with the Raiders, do you think they're going to sign Juju or re-sign?
I don't believe that the Raiders have much for cap room as part of
I didn't know that.
part of their issue, and I believe that.
I mean, like if the Raiders do try and go for Juju, will they just go for him, or will they re-sign Aguilar?
I mean, Juju's way better than Aguilar, but he's also kind of.
Yeah, but they don't have the cap room to sign Juju, and the Jets, Patriots, Washington, and Miami all have the cap space, and then obviously the Steelers can re-sign him.
It's super up in the air because I think some free agents actually will go to the Jets, no matter how bad they were last year.
Oh no, people are going to go to the Jets because the Jets have one of the large, other than the Dolphins, the Jets have the best
Not
upside.
just the cap space, but I'm saying like they hired Robert Saleh, who's like or Sella, however you pronounce his name. He's a really good coach, and a lot of the players like him.
He's a very good players coach.
Yeah.
The players like him.
I see Richard Sherman going there as well.
Yeah, they also have the number 2 pick, which obviously isn't going to be. I've heard isn't going to be a quarterback, but they could trade down, add a couple of good pieces. They could trade down in the draft, or they could just trade that number 2 pick for some good talent, like package that with something else.
The Jets honestly have a very good raw roster.
It sounds like they think Darnold's their guy. They gotta give Darnold a chance. I mean, he hasn't had any help. He's not that bad.
You look at last year; he didn't do that bad. Looking at their receiving core, with who was the number 1 receiver? J.C. Crowder.
Yeah.
And Rashad Perriman.
Yeah.
Those are other than the Patriots wide receiver core, I'd say that's one of the worst in the league.
Yeah.
And yet he still didn't have a half bad
Ravens.
season with being injured.
Yeah, Ravens receiving core.
The Ravens receiving core is not bad at all.
Oh, they're bad.
It's pretty bad.
But the thing is
It's
that Lamar
bad,
Jackson
except
doesn't
they have
need
a few
them.
good pieces.
They can have
They have a
success
few good
without them.
pieces.
So
Marquise Brown was decent his rookie year, and then all of a sudden he just decided to not know how to play football this year.
The Eagles' 3 starting receivers is Travis Fulgham.
Oh yeah,
Jalen
we're not
Reagor,
going to talk
Red
about
Bull.
that
Don't
trash
even tell me.
franchise.
Don't
That
even
trash
tell me.
franchise.
I mean,
is
the
just
Eagles
the
put in
water.
Nate
It's in the
Sudfeld to
gutter.
finish off the game.
I mean, the Eagles did draft Justin Jefferson. Oh, my bad. Never mind.
Oh yeah, they kind of screwed up there. Yeah.
Honestly, I think Justin Jefferson wouldn't have played well, even if Philadelphia's going to be the
No
next
way.
draft.
No, he
Yeah.
in
He
that
made
draft
Kirk
he had the
Cousins
most
look good.
pro-ready routes out of all of them. He would have been good wherever he went.
The
He
Eagles
made Kirk
don't know how to
Cousins look good.
develop receivers.
That says it all. He made Kirk Cousins look good. That's all I have
The
to say.
man has the man has very much pro-ready routes the second he came out in the draft.
Yeah.
where do you think
would've
Joe
done good
Flacco's going to go?
The retirement home.
Actually, I see Flacco going to a team with a young quarterback to like nurture him.
Patriots.
Honestly, I see Flacco going to the Dolphins.
Yeah. It's,
They already have.
Help Tua out.
Yeah. Flacco
So,
just made his
Nihar.
return to the Ravens.
I don't think anyone, frankly, is gonna care where Joe Flacco signs for $1 million
That is true.
before he
That
retires.
is true.
No, I mean, it makes a big difference actually. Joe Flacco is he's like an ultimate team leader. He's a
Flacco's
Super Bowl
was not
champion.
actually bad last year as well, though.
He played amazingly last
He
year.
just had a neck injury.
Other than Fitzpatrick, I'd say Flacco's the best relief quarterback in the league.
No, I'd say just Flacco is probably the best quarterback in the league, like hands down, honestly.
Okay, Ravens fan.
Oh, good.
Speaking of the Ravens signed Kevin Zeitler to a 3-year, $22 million contract.
It's a good deal.
First of all, why did the Giants release him? Second of all, how much is this going to help the Ravens?
Good
Who did they
amount.
sign?
Kevin Zeitler
Oh,
The guard from the
Giants
Yeah.
and the Browns.
yeah.
Hey, I mean, Lamar's a scrambling quarterback. You need all the blocking you can get.
Yeah.
Sucks.
He'll definitely help him out. Also, when they have J.K. Dobbins, who's pretty solid, they can run up. I mean, they probably have the best rushing attack in the. They have the best
Oh
rushing
yeah.
attack.
Speaking of the Ravens, I don't know if you mentioned this earlier, Rohan, but you talk about Mark Ingram getting the $3 million
Deal
deal
with
the Texans.
With the Texans, yeah.
Think he can save their organization?
He's not going to start. He's of course not going to start for them. They don't even know who their quarterback is. They have their wide receiver room is basically Brandon Cooks because Fuller's going to leave in free agency. If I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, he's going to the Packers.
But
just running Wildcat the whole time.
that's literally what they have to do at this point. It's sad. Like 2018, what did they have? Like 6 Pro Bowlers, and only one of them is left on contract with them, and he wants out.
They're so stubborn. Just trade him. I don't get it. I know he's a god, but like, just trade him. Like,
He's
He
not
said he's
going to
not
play
gonna
for you
play.
anymore. He's literally said that trade him and get something of value from him.
like you could get so much value. I think he's already top 5, top 6 quarterback in the league, and he's very high value. You can get, like, some teams said they would just trade their entire draft class for this dude. Because, I mean, he's a generational talent.
Drew Brees retired yesterday. What's everybody's take on this? Was there already the writing on the wall that we all saw he was going to retire, or should he have at least gone for one more year?
I think the writing was on the wall. I mean, I don't know how one more year would have helped, especially with Brady still in the same division. Even if Brees went somewhere else, I don't know if he'd really be able to do anything.
Once I saw that video of him him throwing to Brady's kids.
No, Brady thrown to his kids.
Or Brady throwing to his kids, like he's just chilling out, hanging with Brady and just casually talking about football. I was like, yeah, if he wanted to compete, I think he would, and if he was like really hurt by how he was eliminated in the playoffs, he would go right back to training and all that. It was kind of just a sign that he was ready to call it quits.
Yeah, after I heard the announcement that his wife made about some of the injuries he was playing with, I think I just looked it up, and he throughout this entire season he was playing with a torn rotator cuff, torn fascia, 11 broken ribs, and a collapsed lung. I'm like, he's like 39, 40 years old, no, maybe even older, and he's playing with all those injuries. And 20 seasons in, I think it was time. He already signed the deal with, I think it was like NBC. He's getting paid.
He's not going to work on football in America as an analyst.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be paid almost as much as an analyst as he did as an NFL quarterback. So I think it was time for him to go.
Thing is, the Saints they manipulated Taysom's contract too.
Yeah,
The Saints The Saints actually the salary cap just does not exist for them.
No, it does exist. It's just that what they did was they took the cap hit from Taysom and lengthened it over 4 years with them all being voidable.
Yeah.
Which
They made it look on paper like it was a 4-year contract, but in reality, it's like 4 1-year contracts. So
yeah, they can cut him. They can void his contract whenever they
want. It gives them a
want.
lot more flexibility, but it also long term gives them a ton of flexibility that, like, in any given year they can just, in a sense, just cut his contract with no repercussions.
Their cap hell is just going to extend for so long at this point. They're adding to that.
Talking about the Saints quarterback situation, who's going to start for them week 1, 2021
For the Saints?
for the Saints? Because they have yet to re-sign Jameis Winston, but they have interested in keeping him and re-signing him to be their quarterback. But of course, they did lengthen Taysom Hill's contract to manipulate the cap. So he's technically on contract for 4 more years.
Nah,
Good. No.
it's gotta be Jameis. If you put Taysom Hill at quarterback, you're
I
just
don't know.
wasting Michael Thomas.
Yeah, but what they do last year?
I mean, Michael Thomas has a singular 100-yard game with Taysom at quarterback.
Like I don't see them making the playoffs with Taysom Hill at quarterback, or maybe going like 9-7. Winston at quarterback, I see him going like 11-5, 10-6. I think if he cuts down on the turnovers, he could be pretty decent.
Maybe they need like a strong figure like Joe Flacco.
Nehar, stop with the Joe Flacco talk. So Aaron Jones re-signed with the Packers. Did you people expect this or no?
I thought they were gonna let him walk. To be honest,
I think it was expected, and I think it was the wrong move for the Packers. I think they had their rookie A.J. Dillon was really good, really solid last year. They had Jamal Williams also, and to spend almost $50 million on Aaron Jones, sort of. I mean, I think his numbers are worth based on the way he's played the last few years, he's worth the money theoretically, but I don't think he was worth the money for the Packers.
So let's talk New England. Of course, they traded for Trent Brown. They traded away Marcus Cannon. What's next going to happen? Who are they going to get in free agency?
they're gonna trade for Zach Ertz.
I don't know that they're going to make many more trades. I doubt they're going to make many more trades. I'd say they'll probably make some signings for some veteran receivers and then just try and build in the draft.
You think they're gonna sign a solid wide receiver once it's Kenny Golladay, or they're just gonna rely on?
I don't see them signing like an elite receiver like Kenny Golladay. I don't think Belichick wants to tie up that kind of money in a receiver. I could be wrong. I could see them picking a receiver like 3rd or 4th round in the draft, maybe even later, and also just getting a vet like there's a few good vets that were released like Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, both from the Eagles. Like I could see someone like that getting signed.
I could also see T.Y. Hilton going there.
You see T.Y. coming here. Interesting.
I could definitely see that.
So, of course, we've never seen a Patriots offseason with this much cap room without Tom Brady. Of course, they did re-sign Cam Newton to a 1-year, $14 million deal.
Yep.
Of course, Cam looked amazing before COVID this year, and then after he got COVID, he kind of sank. He looked as bad as, if not worse, than Carson Wentz at times. So, is he going to go back to what he was at the beginning of the year last year, or is he going to be more or less what he was at the end of the year last year?
Well,
I don't think he was that spectacular at the beginning of the year either. I think he had an inability to throw the ball more than like 25 yards downfield period last year, which for the first few games wasn't really being picked up by defenses. But once it was recognized, it was painfully easy to defend against the Patriots. So I'm hoping that he has a bounce back year and he's able to throw the ball a little better. And I think the Patriots could sneak into the playoffs, but if he can, especially with them getting some of their key guys on defense back, like Hightower and Patrick Chung, they'll be a lot better on defense. And if they have a healthy Cam Newton that can throw the ball, they'll be a lot better.
Yeah. I wouldn't say the blame is all on Cam Newton. A lot of our receivers just can't get any separation, and Cam Newton isn't a guy who's just going to sit in the pocket and just deliver absolute dots if they're covered. But I think it's really important. We need to get him a receiver or two. if it's really gonna take Kenny Galladay or maybe someone not as good but still pretty fast, like Curtis Samuel from the Panthers, like we need to get someone or some form of a tight end, whether that's Hunter Henry, Johnny Smith, something like that, or drafting if we can somehow land Kyle Pitts, like drafting someone like that. I think it's just important to give Cam weapons because we don't really. I mean, obviously Cam's not the best thrower, but you can't make a good evaluation of him when you had the receivers we had. And Jacoby Myers is not even that good. He just happened to be Cam Newton's favorite target.
So do you think the Patriots are going to spend their first round pick on an offensive weapon, or do you think they're going to do what everybody expects them to do and draft a quarterback?
Well, if we didn't sign Cam Newton, then I was like, all right, I'm all in on getting a quarterback. I think we should.
The only thing signing Cam Newton did was remove the Patriots from the quarterback free agency and trading market. If anything, they're probably going to draft a quarterback early on.
Yeah, they could. They could go out and draft a quarterback early on. But I think if Kyle Pitts, Jalen Waddle, or even Devontae Smith, there's no way. But if somehow Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, or Kyle Pitts are all
what's
on
the
the
Patriots
board,
draft pick at 15?
Yeah. I mean,
honestly,
we could land Jalen Waddle.
I see Devontae Smith going around like 12 or 13, so he could drop.
Yeah, so if we could somehow
he's not getting past the Giants.
Yeah, we need to get Waddle or Pitts. If not, then I guess go get a quarterback. Go out and get Trey Lance.
The thing with Pitts, he's either going to go really early or he might fall to you guys. It could either of those could happen.
CBS has the Patriots projecting to take Azeez Ojulari, linebacker from Georgia, with the 15.
We don't need a linebacker.
Which is,
if anything,
it's a very
just make Kyle
Belichick type move.
Why would you need a linebacker? Just make Kyle Duggar a linebacker.
We have Hightower. We have Jawan Bentley. We have
Kyle Duggar is basically a linebacker at safety.
I will say they have Devontae Smith going the pick before to the Jets.
Why would we not get Jalen Waddle?
Of course.
And they have Jalen Waddle going 12th to the Dolphins. So I could see either of those picks be the Patriots trading up for potentially, but I doubt that he's trading up in the draft.
I mean, these guys are skilled, and we can't pull another N'Keal Harry. But then again,
speaking of N'Keal Harry,
yeah,
is he going to be traded?
Hopefully not. Honestly, like I want to still give the dude a chance. I mean, he sometimes makes some pretty impressive catches. My comparison for him is like Julio Jones, but everything bad. So like he can go up and get a ball.
He reminds me of like prime Alshon Jeffrey,
but like bad. No route
running.
Chicago
Alshon.
I don't. If you watched Alshon Jeffrey, he had like negative route running ability, but he was just a big body who could go up and get the ball. But
he
didn't do anything other than like being big, like being a big target.
Yeah, that's actually a very good comparison. I'd say like injured Eagles Alshon Jeffrey would be N'Keal Harry's comparison.
Yeah, we'll take him, and you guys can have JJ our signal.
No. You see, we'll take your entire receiving core for him. I think that's a fair trade.
I'll do it. You can have
that would make no difference to the Patriots. If we took the entire receiving core for N'Keal Harry, that would make no difference.
I mean, it could. Honestly, the Eagles have some raw talent on the receiving core that could.
They do.
That could.
By raw talent, you mean absolute garbage on their receiving?
No way.
No, absolute garbage right now. Except their upside is incredible.
Yeah, it is.
All the young players on the Eagles have incredible upside. It's just that they're horrible.
I can't wait for the upside to happen, and like they're gonna be good. For the back end of like the final season of their contract, and then the Eagles
they miss the playoffs by like half a game.
One game, and then they'll all sign with some other team in free agency.
So actually, Elliot, if that were to happen, how would you take it?
Well, first of all, it won't happen. I hope. Second of all, I think some guys like the coaching staff that they brought in. They got to develop. This is the first year the Eagles are keeping their wide receivers coach. They've had like 6 in the last 6 years. This is our last 5. Yeah, this is the first year they kept their wide receivers coach since 2015. So Aaron Moorhead, he's their guy. He did fine last year, but they just got to develop these guys. And some guys are more developed than others. And like guys like Travis Fulgham, you got to give him a chance because when he was on the field, he was a beast. And then Alshon Jeffrey came back and all his production stopped. So you just got to get these guys on the field. And that kind of leads me into thinking, do you even take a wide receiver at number 6? You should, because it's probably the best player available, but it's something you can explore.
So
I can see them taking
Speaking
Kyle
of-
Pitts, especially if they don't plan on re-signing Ertz.
I mean, who's their other
I'm-
tight end?
What? Goddard?
Who's
They have Goddard.
Goddard's not
Goddard
bad
and
at all.
Wentz. They have
He's not-
Wentz on contract for another year, and I think Goddard too.
Goddard
See-
is not bad at all.
He's not, but him and Rager both had trouble staying on the field, which sucks. But
If he's healthy, the Eagles should be fine with that tight end.
yeah, but the thing is, I don't see Kyle Pitts as a tight end. This guy's a wide receiver in the mold of Calvin Johnson / DK Metcalf.
So he's Darren Waller.
He's a better version of Darren Waller based on his
Darren
physical.
Waller's pretty good.
Yeah, if you were to tell me that I'm getting Darren Waller at that 6 overall,
Darren Waller now wouldn't go top 5 in the draft. Like they're projecting Kyle Pitts though. That's the
Yeah.
big. That's what you're
But I
missing here. It's like Kyle Pitts can
Yeah.
run like a 4.40, and he's also like 6'4", like 240. So
if the Eagles got him, I would be psyched. I mean, my guy's Jamar Chase, obviously, but Kyle Pitt, I think you just need a weapon. Like I don't care. And the thing that makes it exciting is that you do have Dallas Goedert, and if you put him and Pitts on the field at the same time, that's a matchup nightmare. With the speed that they have in their young guys, like that could actually be really good if the coaches know how to use it. That's the whole key.
So speaking about the Eagles and receivers, where's Nelson Aguilar going to go?
He'll resign with Vegas.
Do you think he's going to have another good season with Vegas?
I do. I think they know how to use him right, and I think he just needed to change his scenery. And
I feel like the Eagles just misused him because look at what he did with Vegas. He was their deep threat. That's what he was. The Eagles were having him running slants the entire year. When he was
yeah, I mean, they used him. The Eagles also used him on a bunch of go routes, but I think the key was like using him in the slot is really where he thrives. He's a vertical slot guy, and he just, I don't know, he didn't really know his identity and on the Eagles, and now he's getting it because, you know, they know how to use him in Vegas. The Eagles just put him wherever they wanted, and that's the problem. That's what you see with Jalen Reagor right now. They don't know what to do with him. You got a versatile speed demon, and you don't know how to use them. Like
they're just making the same mistake that they did with Aguilar, basically.
yeah, exactly. And if they don't change it soon, it's going to get to his head, and you might see the exact same situation.
Chiefs offensive line. What's going to happen?
Wait, do you want to really quick talk about where you think Zach Ertz is going to go?
He's old. I'm sorry to say, but
he's only 30.
He's only 30, but he's moving as if he's like 34 at this age.
Yeah, I don't know. He got double covered.
Honestly,
where
I see him going to maybe the Dolphins.
No, they don't need him. They have Gesicki.
Yeah, except like maybe like I don't maybe run
The
like
Bills.
2 tight end with him.
Maybe the Bills. Dawson
think
Knox
this-
is decent.
Actually-
but he's nothing special.
Maybe the Bears.
I think the Seahawks or the Colts are the two most likely. You could either match him up with Wentz. That would make so much sense.
So Ayan, where do you think Zach Ertz will go?
To be honest, I don't really watch sports, so I have no idea who that is.
he's the tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles. So
Yeah, I think he's gonna go to England.
I agree.
it's a good take.
Yeah, that was
Hot take.
that was a really smart take. Like,
Dude, what if
I
he just
think
retired? What if he just retired and played soccer?
Bro,
Yeah,
what
what
if
do you
Harry
think?
His
Kane?
wife is on the national.
Yo,
what?
Oh, facts. Really hurts.
Oh,
just gets recruited by the women's soccer team. That'd be funny.
Honestly, if he joins the U.S. men's team, I think that he would be the best player.
They can make a co-ed team.
But anyway, get back on track. I think that Russell Wilson, he really likes him. He's dying to have him.
Yeah, Russell's gonna go to the Bears if he gets traded.
Yeah.
The Bears are expected to go all in on him.
They are. They're about to. They said the Bears are gonna shoot their shot in getting Russell Wilson, and then he's probably gonna like friend zone them and just be like, yeah, I like your franchise, but you're just not you're not good enough for me. He's just gonna. I don't think he's gonna go anywhere.
So the Chiefs' offensive line, what's gonna happen?
Is Laurent Duvernay-Tardif coming back?
Probably, except he plays guard.
Oh,
yeah, they have no tackle.
Unless you have a player who's played tackle in the past, you can't really move them from guard to tackle.
I heard rumors that they're interested in trading for Andre Dillard, who's the Eagles' left tackle that they drafted a few years ago.
I've also heard that they're interested in signing Kyle Long, who recently unretired, but he's also has he ever played tackle before? That's the question. I don't think so because he plays left guard mostly. What?
Isn't he an edge rusher?
No, that's Chris Long, his brother.
Oh wait. Oh,
Kyle Long was the guard.
That's right. Was he with the Patriots?
No, Kyle Long was a lifelong Bear. Chris Long was on Patriots. He won that Super Bowl with you guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know that. But
yeah.
Okay, I know. Yeah, I know you're talking about now.
I mean, luckily for the Chiefs, I mean they don't have besides Joey Bosa, there isn't really any elite pass rushers in the AFC West. I mean, Von Miller's past his prime, but there's no one else that's really.
Impressive. Even though he's past his prime, Von Miller's still pretty damn good, and you also have
but he's not a pass rusher.
You also have who's the other guy on that D line for the
Chubb,
yeah. He's
all right, I guess. Yeah, but Joey Bosa's elite.
Melvin Ingram also exists. Linval Joseph's on that Chargers team.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like elite pass rush. Like Joey Bosa is a tier 1 pass rusher.
Honestly, Melvin Ingram's like a 2B at pass rusher.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Speaking of the Chiefs, they just restructured Mahomes and Kelsey and Chris Jones's contracts.
I mean, restructuring that will be good. They get cap space. They literally lost their 2 offensive tackles, which were the instrument in their destruction.
Yeah. Mahomes is going like, ooh, like all just running around.
They literally self-imploded when they both got injured.
Yeah, that was just I've never seen something so crazy like that in the championship.
I've never seen a team make that, in my opinion, bonehead of a move.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb.
So, what is it? It's March now, right? March Madness is existing.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So isn't this like the first time since like 1976 where both Kentucky and Duke are not in the tournament?
Oh, wait. Quick little ad break for March Madness. Bradley is actually hosting a bracket on ESPN bracket challenge. It's open to anyone. Anyone can join. Let me go bring up the info. This is the commercial break for this podcast. March Madness bracket.
Sponsored by
$15. It's $15 entry. Join
You're sponsored by ESPN and DraftKings now, boys.
Join SHS 2021 as the bracket challenge. Like that's the password's the exact same. And then make the name of your bracket just your first and last name, and then Venmo Bradley, and his handle on Venmo is Bradley Weiss 5. By tip off by game 1 on Thursday. Obviously, send him the money by Thursday. Just do it by Friday, I guess. But right now, we currently have a solid amount of people who are in this. But yeah, this is your little 1-minute ad break.
Wait, Daniel, what's it called?
You know, it's more than 1 minute, but yeah.
SHS and then 2021. You'll see that there's a lot of people in this.
Jacobson. Let's go. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the ad break. Now we can go back to the.
Great. All right. Well, I had two things. One, I saw that Georgetown made it in by winning the Big East. It's an upset. But also, I think I've got my champion who I usually pick every year. I got Gonzaga winning it all.
Yeah, me too. How can you not?
Yeah, how can you not? That's going to be Gonzaga versus Ohio State, 98-93.
98-93.
What?
98-93.
Overtime game. College
No,
games only go to
you see,
70.
I'm feeling something more like 220 to 219.
All right, let's.
Is this the All-Star game?
It's gonna go to like 8 overtimes.
Now let's discuss the best matchups in the first round. Well, the first 4 actually has Michigan State versus UCLA.
That's a really good matchup, honestly.
It sounds pretty enticing. In the West region, I have an upset. Virginia versus Ohio. Ohio has Jason Preston. The guy is a big story. Ohio played a number 1 seeded Illinois at the time, and they took them to. It was like they lost by 2 points. They're part of the Ohio Valley Conference, and Jason Preston. He was never like recruited, but he was sent his video of his like huddle or his highlight to the coach in like an email or something, and they like brought him on the team, and now he's like really good. So that's an enticing matchup. Another pretty enticing matchup is Georgetown and Colorado. Georgetown, as Mihar said, they weren't that impressive this year. They're only 13-12, but all of a sudden they just put in the high gear and won the Big East tournament, just like Oregon State of the Pac-12. They just kicked the switch and just went crazy. And I think the most underrated game is an entire round of 64 in the Southern region is Arkansas versus Colgate. I'm not saying Colgate's going to win that game. I think Arkansas is going to win. But Colgate averages 86.3 points per game, and Arkansas averages 83 points per game. They're almost like they're in the top 15 or top 10.
So what you're saying is going to be a very close game.
Very, very fast paced. Like it's
fast paced and close till the end.
I was watching, it was on CBS when they announced that game. Everyone was like, "Oh my god," because they knew. But both of these teams just run down the court, just chuck up threes, and it goes in like every time. It's going to be a pretty crazy game. 12:45 on March.
So what you're saying is this team is literally the 2017 Warriors.
Yeah, this game is just going to go back and forth, back and forth. It's going to be an outrageous game. Probably the best game around the 64.
So the 2017 Warriors, but worse.
Yes. So both of these teams, or it could just be an all-around blowout. I don't know. Colgate hasn't played anyone in the top 75 net rating, meaning that they have no meaningful matchups. But they're still a D1 basketball team, and they're still putting up crazy numbers. So it should be an interesting game.
Who do you guys have winning it all?
Me, Illinois.
Over who?
No, it's Gonzaga. Come on now.
Gonna be Gonzaga.
Jeffrey over who? Illinois over.
I don't know.
I got Illinois losing in the Final Four to Ohio State.
Dang.
Yeah, no, Gonzaga is gonna win it all. Though there's no way that.
My Final Four is Gonzaga, Texas, Baylor, and Oklahoma State.
I gotta agree with you on Texas there. I like Texas.
My issue is that there's no Big Ten teams in my Final Four, and Big Ten's the best conference in college basketball.
Yeah.
Let's see. Some other enticing matchups like further down that are possible is in the Sweet 16 in the Midwest region. It could be Illinois versus Oklahoma State. You got Cade Cunningham versus Ayo Dosunmu, the guard for Illinois, who's really good. So that could be a pretty fire matchup.
Wait, Daniel, did you say Gonzaga, Texas, Baylor, and Oklahoma State?
Yeah.
Bro, you copied mine.
Yeah, I actually was talking to someone else earlier, and they had the exact same one as mine too.
So
it makes sense. Sorry, keep going. I interrupted you.
It's gonna be just hilarious a second that one of those teams loses in the first round.
Yeah, that should be real funny. I mean, I'm kind of hoping we get Iowa versus Texas, but it's not gonna happen because you could get Greg Brown versus Luka Garza, but some of the best forwards / center in the Hall of College Basketball, but I don't think we're gonna get that. So yeah.
So
No,
Cade
yeah.
Cunningham, is he NBA ready? In your guys'
Oh
opinion?
yeah.
That would be a great matchup to see again. The rematch between Baylor and Oklahoma State University.
Yeah, those teams are both crazy. Cade Cunningham, you can't sleep on that dude.
He looks
He's-
good.
He single-handedly carried them against Baylor last like a few days ago. So it'd be nice to see
Honestly,
that.
Cade looks insane as a player.
Yeah. Yeah.
My-
Yeah. I mean, this is gonna be ridiculous. This March Madness with no Duke and no Kentucky. I think it's better. I think it's better for basketball with no Duke and no Kentucky.
It's
I
better
can't
because they're
stand
not there.
Yeah. And people are saying like, oh, Duke, they had the COVID and they backed out of the tournament. That's why I'm not. No, they were bad all year. They just were not good. They were a 500 team. Like that's not. Duke normally goes like 23 and like 7 or something. So.
All of Duke's good players have gone to the NBA. Sad times.
Yep, that's what happens when you put them and Kentucky. That's what happens when you have a lineup of all freshmen, basically. Like their whole team was just a bunch of freshmen, 4- and 5-star recruits. Like you can't form a team of just pure talent. Like they can't play together.
You can. You just can't expect them to be that good. When
Yeah,
compared
but in
to
the past,
people who actually played college basketball for longer, because raw talent may be there, except maybe they just don't have probably the game IQ for college level.
yeah. Nowadays, all you see is just a bunch of dunkers, like, just guys doing windmill 360s, but they can't even know how to defend in the pick and roll. Maybe I'm just sounding like an old head.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like people need to go back to the fundamentals, be less flashy.
No.
It may be better for viewing, except like if they can't defend the pick and roll, what are they supposed to do?
I mean, I'd rather see someone dunk from the free throw line than to run a pick and roll for a wide open layup. But then again,
No, I'd rather see somebody do a pick and roll and then posterize somebody.
yeah, I guess, but
But you also need to learn how to defend that.
yeah, I could coach some of these guys how to defend the pick and roll. I'm pretty nice at switching on defense and the pick and roll. Also, Gonzaga. I mean, they're 26-0. I mean, they also are in the West, the Big West, or whatever their random conference is. But people are like, well, they're 26-0 because they have easy competition. Well, they did beat Kansas, Iowa, like Baylor, like every single like top 5 team in the country earlier on in the season.
So what you're saying is they are actually good. People just don't like them.
Yes, they are absolutely nasty. They have a really good center, a great forward, and they have a freshman point guard in Jalen Suggs.
Yes, they have a rookie.
Yeah, he's a rookie. They signed him.
Yeah, they had to do they signed him as a rookie free agent on a 4-year, $50 million deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and we're coming up on time, so if you guys have any final thoughts you want.
One last question for you guys. Who's going to win Rookie of the Year? Is it going to be Anthony Edwards or it's going to be, of course, LaMelo Ball?
I got LaMelo.
What's LaMelo averaging? Like 15, 6, and 6 or something?
Doesn't even matter what he's averaging. It's LaMelo Ball.
LeVar Ball will rig it either way.
But he doesn't even LaMelo is literally averaging 15.8, 6, and 6 with 1.6 steals a game, shooting 44.9% and then 38.7 from the
Not to mention he started on the bench and then just came out and like balled. Like dude balled, yeah.
I think it's gonna be Tyshawn
man.
Alexander, shooting guard on the Phoenix Suns. Like Tyshawn Alexander is just like he's just amazing,
Yeah.
Don't
sleep on Ant-Man though.
Man.
Anthony Edwards.
I see a lot of similarities actually, Daniel, and your boy Ja and Cade Cunningham.
I know. That's why I like Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we wrap it up?
I think that's all the time we have for today.
Joe Flacco for the win.
Yes, totally. 100% Joe Flacco for the win. Yeah.
Are we done?